The submarine that can't resurface. Year, 2013. Location, Spain. Company, Navantia. Estimated damage value, $2.2 billion. You don't have to be a certified genius to know that a submarine has to do one thing above all else: float. Despite paying over $2.2 billion to create a new, state-of-the-art Isaac Peral submarine back in 2013, the Spanish government didn't even end up using it. It turned out the submarine was so incredibly heavy that it couldn't float properly. The hiccup garnered so much attention it was featured on numerous news outlets. The problems didn't end there, either. When engineers rectified the issue, they made the entire thing bigger. There was only one issue. No one thought to look at the port. Trains, too big, for the station. Year, 2014. Location, France. Company, RFF. Gave the wrong dimensions to SNCF. Estimated damage value, $68 million. Might be busy ruling the skies, but what about the rails? Railways and the metro are heavily used in France, so when the train operator SNCF decided to invest in a new transportation project, it seemed like a good idea at the time. However, even the best-laid plans can be shoddily executed. 2,000 new trains that cost in excess of $20.5 billion hit the railways back in 2014, but there was a hitch. They were far too wide, or as some outlets like the BBC dubbed them, too fat, to safely squeeze past each other on the rails. The mistake cost SNCF almost $70 million. Apparently the error happened when the RFF, the rail network operator, measured platforms that had been built 30 years ago. They thought it was a one-size-fits-all situation, not taking into account the stations and platforms that were much older and smaller than that neighborhood built on an abandoned mine. Year, 2020. Location, South Dakota, America. Company, Dakota Plaster Company. Estimated damage value, $10-15 million. When purchasing a home, you may want to double-check with the realtor that it's not built on a large, cavernous, abandoned mine. A group of South Dakota residents didn't check when they shelled out a fortune for their gorgeous, newly built houses back in 2014. Outlets like Viacom CBS soon picked up the story and it went viral. The sinking of the Titanic. Year, 1912. Location, North Atlantic Ocean Company, White Star Line. Estimated damage value, $7.5 million per $400 million adjusted for inflation. In 1912, the Titanic was a true feat of engineering genius. Indeed, at the cost of $7.5 million, or $400 million in today's money, it was a passenger ship unlike anything the world had seen before. With stunning staterooms and a sweeping staircase, it was more like a five-star hotel that could float. Sadly, we all know how the maiden voyage turned out. The Titanic hit an iceberg and sank in the North Atlantic Ocean on the evening of April 15. Despite its cost, the Titanic had many faults, including poorly made rivets and just 16 lifeboats to cater to over 3,300 people. James Cameron's Oscar-winning film version of the Titanic's voyage for 20th Century Fox took over $200 million at the box office in 1997. Interestingly, the ship's naval engineer Thomas Andrews was in his cabin drawing out improvements for the vessel when the iceberg struck. According to what he told other passengers and crew, he barely noticed a thing. Andrews was one of the 1,500 that perished. Yellow digger stuck at the shore. Year, 2019. Location, Auckland Beach, New Zealand. Company, Little Shoal Bay Boating Club. Estimated damage value, $50,000. If there's one thing most of us know, it's that parking your car in a safe spot is an absolute necessity. You wouldn't park a brand new Tesla on a beach, but someone thought it would be a wise idea to try their luck with a 4x4 Land Rover. However, the diggers sent to extract the 4x4 got stuck as well and sat fully submerged in the sand and mud for more than 3 days. The incident occurred on Auckland Beach in New Zealand, much to the bemusement of local residents and news outlets. Thankfully, officials stopped to consider what might happen to other machinery before sending in other equipment to rescue the digger. It was a touch too little, too late. British Airways incident. Year, 1990. Location, airspace over Didcot, Oxfordshire. Company, British Airways. Estimated damage value, $2.8 million. In 1990, one of the most harrowing airplane incidents was not only recorded, but also, incredible, captured on tape in real time. British Airways Flight 5390 was just beginning its ascent over Oxfordshire when suddenly the pressure inside the cockpit unexpectedly caused the driver's side window to burst, sucking veteran pilot Tim Lancaster out of the airplane. Fortunately, Lancaster's legs caught on the controls, and a quick-acting staff managed to hold onto his body, half inside the cockpit, half exposed to the freezing winds outside, until the plane made an emergency landing. Lancaster suffered several bone fractures and frostbite, but was lucky to escape with his life. The NOAA N-Prime satellite drop year, 2003 location, Sunnyvale, California. Company, Lockheed Martin Space Systems. Estimated damage value, $135 million. Satellites might look like big, inelegant hunks of metal, but they're complex pieces of machinery that take a ton of money and expertise to make. So, when one gets knocked over, it's not a case of simply sticking it back together with Newell's crazy glue. Back in 2003, workers at Lockheed Martin Space Systems in Sunnyvale were moving the NOAA N-Prime satellite to a different position when it fell off of its plate and onto the floor, causing $135 million in damages. Someone forgot to secure it with the required 24 bolts prior to lifting it. In order to remedy the embarrassing event, Lockheed Martin gracefully said they wouldn't take any profit from the build to pay for the repair costs. They also covered a further $30 million, while the rest of the costs were shouldered by the United States government, which didn't go down well. Misparked F-16 jet. Year: 2018 location, Belgium. Company, Belgian Air Force. Estimated damage value, $15 to $18 million. We've all made mistakes while doing our jobs, but have you ever accidentally fired a cannon and destroyed a $15 million fighter jet? If not, one maintenance worker in Belgium might just have you beat. The incident happened in 2018 at the Florence Air Force Base. Advertisement. While the details of what happened weren't made immediately clear, the workers somehow managed to accidentally shoot a Vulcan cannon at a fully fueled General Dynamics F-16, causing it to explode. Thankfully there were no fatalities, but 2 technicians suffered head injuries as a result of this extremely careless and costly boo-boo. The maintenance was being carried out on a nearby F-16AM fighter jet when the cannon was accidentally fired, causing the catastrophic damage. Another nearby plane was also injured in the process, but was able to be repaired. Needless to say, no Employee of the Month awards were handed out to those involved. The car melting skyscraper. Year: 2013 location, London. Company, Land Securities and Canary Wharf Group. Estimated damage value, $1,000 for the car, unknown for the building. Skyscrapers are commonplace in big cities across the world. But how many of them have been known to melt cars and other businesses? The walkie-talkie on 20 Fenchurch Street in London hit the headlines on news outlets like Disney's ABC in 2014 after it melted a Jaguar parked across the street from the sun's reflection. Advertisement. The Jaguar cost over $1,000 to fix, but the damages from the building's glare didn't stop there. Close by businesses said windows cracked from the heat, forcing the $250 million building to spend an undisclosed amount on fitting a giant sunshade to its south-facing side. When the owner of the car, Mr. Lindsay, explained the damage to his car to the BBC, he said the wing mirror, panels, and Jaguar badge had all been badly melted, telling them, "You can't believe something like this would happen." Kurt Russell destroys a rare, priceless 1870s guitar. Year: 2015 location, on set of The Hateful Eight. Company, Shiny Penny, Film Colony. Estimated damage value, $40,000. Director Quentin Tarantino is behind some incredible movies, including Sony's 2019 hit Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Back in 2015 he hired Kurt Russell and Jennifer Jason Leigh to star in The Hateful Eight. In one particular scene, Leigh is playing a vintage guitar when Russell's character grabs it from her and smashes it to bits.